Star Wars The Clone Wars has just finished two of its arcs of the final season of this legendary show. As a Clone Wars fan, I am grateful to have new content as I waited years for this show's return, but sadly we only got a fraction of the epic finale we were supposed to have. Season 6, The Lost Missions, had 13 of 24 episodes planned to be in Season 6, as long as the unfinished arcs also being released. But that's not it. There was supposed to be an entire other season with 24 episodes, so we lost around 35 planned episodes of the Clone Wars and only received 12 for this season. 4 of these episodes may have been hot garbage. I'm looking at you. But with these 12 episodes we are getting, they must carry the show with the others we didn't get, such as The Crystal Crisis or The Son of Dathomir. And with some very good stories before its cancellation, the bar was set very high. And did the Bad Batch arc fill it in my opinion? No, it did not. The Bad Batch was just not as good as when it released. I believe this arc did not have much depth emotionally from the relationship with Echo and Rex. But in the prior seasons we never saw much of them, so we can't genuinely believe their connection, as it was mostly always Echo and Fives, and then Fives and Rex. The best part to me was a good look at Anakin and Rex's friendship, as he trusted Rex enough with the secret of his marriage who nobody else knew about, which ties into Anakin's line in the episode, "Old Friends Not Forgotten." Loyalty means everything to the clones. My only issue is Rex suspects Echo being alive too much before finding out he is in the scene in the barracks would have been enough in my opinion. I do not blame them for choosing the Bad Batch arc, as if the Clone Wars had any main characters, they are Captain Rex and Ahsoka Tano, so it makes sense to give Rex an arc before the Siege of Mandalore. Same thing with Ahsoka, even if hers was not that good. No, get away from me! So without further ado, let's get right into this. The Bad Batch arc was a really good arc in my opinion, but it just didn't feel the same as the original when it was first released. I don't know, it just feels like the voice actors were holding something back, except for D. Bradley Baker, who voices all of the clones. He was amazing as he plays 5 very different characters. The very shocked and distraught Rex, the brute but childish Wrecker, the quiet Crosshair, the chatterbox Tech, and finally the confident leader Hunter. But everyone else feels very different, especially Mace, who feels really out of character in the last episode by trying to convince the droids to stand down. Like, why didn't he do that in the Battle of Ryloth? Or why did he try and kill Palpatine if he thinks he can convince hundreds of droids to surrender? But the best part about this arc was definitely seeing Echo again. After 2 years of him being presumed dead to the characters, he comes back. And truthfully, after this watching this arc, I'm still shaken as we really feel for Rex, as one of his friends who he thought was dead is actually alive, as Echo is the last connection he has to Fives now after he was killed in Season 6. This leads me to my next point. Why doesn't Echo mention Fives at all? I mean, they were best friends before he was presumed dead. Would he just not want to see his best friend? After they take down Admiral Trench, Echo joins the Bad Batch, which further pushes Rex to question if this is the life for him. Throughout the show, we see him slowly get pushed to taking out his inhibitor chip. I believe this was his final push to remove it. Some build-up was in place in Season 1 of this show, with Slick deserting the clone army and trying to earn his freedom, or Cut LaQuaine showing him that there's more than just life as a soldier, as well as 5 speeches on Umbara about them not being droids. This was necessary character development for Rex as well as Anakin. I cannot blame them for the changes they made to this arc, such as removing the nose art scene, as due to the fact that the show is much more mature, as the Bad Batch arc originally wasn't planned to be a couple of weeks before the end of the show, the end of the timeline before Revenge of the Sith. It was a couple months before, but it's much more mature as they're nearing the end of the war now. I also cannot blame them for underdeveloping the Bad Batch, as this arc was originally meant to be an introduction for them, as they were confirmed to return one more time when Yoda would go to Kashyyyk, where we had seen more of them and they would have gotten more development. Because of there being 6 clones, some of these clones felt really bland, especially Crosshair, who could have done better with some extra development, which the Kashyyyk arc would have given. In my opinion, this was still a really good introduction for new and old fans alike and a good start to this season. I'd say if I had to rate it, I would give it a 7 out of 10 due to some good character moments, an amazing first half, and even though the third episode was a bit slow and overdone, they killed it in the end with episode 4. Alright, good start. What do we got next?